And with that, I want to welcome everybody to the 300th episode of Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host, as always. We are joined.
Saddest.
Why do I just all of a sudden I just started seeing the like from Wayne's World?
Yes, that's it.
We are joined by two familiar faces to this show. We have host of the Throwdown Show, the immaculate one, Tony Polanco.
What's going on, people? Episode 300. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Tony T,
And
baby.
also Arielle Danan, also known as the huggable hipster.
Hi.
There she is.
How you doing?
Straight from
How's
New
everybody
York.
doing?
How we
What's
doing?
going on?
Yeah.
How you doing?
It's nice not to be outnumbered anymore, the New Yorker on here. And then we got the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
How's it going, all my nerds out there? The big 300. This is a big one. Yeah, let's nerd out. Let's talk. We got some great guests here today. Amazing. Thank you for joining again, and we missed you guys. Thanks for hanging.
My line? It's okay.
I didn't take your line. What are you talking about?
How's it going? Okay.
I always
It's
take
okay.
your
all
line.
about
You're
stealing lines.
always blaming
Hey,
me on everything.
Hey, children.
I mean, stop being last then, Jason. Speak up.
All right, we'll just do it. You know
Get
what?
off
We'll
the
just do it
rails.
this
That's what
way.
we do, sir. That's what we
And
do.
we got our, you know what? We got our maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the Lion's Mane, Jason
While I'm
Belidio.
drinking water. How's
Hey,
it
not
going,
even
guys?
last
How's it
time,
going?
sir.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, Jay took my line. What's going on, nerds? How's it going tonight? Nerds.
And then the babyface one, Theo Walski.
It's a fresh baby face too. I actually shaved in like 3 weeks, even though you could barely see anything.
3
Like
weeks ago.
3 strands on the face. That's about it.
Is there a
No.
difference?
So we got to.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's just this
We
little
got some,
shadow you see. It's
Oh.
non-existent. Yeah, I got you.
So just give a heads up, folks. We all know this Crashing Game Night. We may have a couple of people dropping in and out tonight, depending on what time they all get home and stuff. But we got some catching up to do with Tony and Ariel because we were talking about this before the show. The last time they were on the show actually happened to be the same episode, which was episode 254.
Wow. Wow.
And it ended up being titled because we renamed it halfway through the show. It was the hot takes episode. And that's all it was. We were just doing hot takes and it was great. But like we're talking, Tony has been on for 104, 114, 161, 200, and then 254.
Yeah, man, you've been there for.
So he's
quite
been
a-
around for
it's
pretty much
almost
the
like a
entire
milestone,
time.
so-
Yeah.
You know,
it's-
and then
yeah, for sure, it's awesome. So I guess I got to be back for 350 and then 400. Like
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, at that
at
point,
a minimum, you know.
yeah.
And a great
then-
way to not miss that is you just join us every week from now on.
He's got a show and he's got to do too. You know,
That's funny. Yeah, exactly.
Keep those
That's-
Tuesdays and Thursdays open.
Yeah.
just right. And then Ariel has been on 202, 247, and 254. So she's been here for the last 2 milestones. You guys have been busy. You guys have had some
That's
career
an
changes.
understatement.
You
Oh
guys
my
have had
gosh,
some career
Ariel,
changes.
I've been following your posts. You've been killing it with the playing the game, playing your games, and I've been loving your choices. So I've been following you. I've been loving it. It's been
Oh,
great
thank
content.
you.
Yeah.
So Tony, how is the new gig going for you?
Yeah, it's funny because the new gig, it's like 3 years now. Tom's Guide, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh.
so yeah,
now
I
you're
mean,
you're really doing the PC side and whatnot, and you're doing MacBook reviews and everything else. How's
Oh,
that?
nice,
how's
man.
that treating you?
Yeah, I mean that's actually my main core job because I'm a computing
Yeah.
writer for Tom's Guide. The gaming stuff is actually this thing I do on the side, and just
Oh,
because
wow.
it's because I have so much seniority, I have to just do it. But no, gaming is actually not my main beat. It's actually computing. So yeah, I like, dude, the last like I think month and a half has been insane for products. I had to review the new Kindle Color Soft, had to review the iPad Mini, the
Okay.
MacBook, and obviously the one we're probably going to talk about, the PS5 Pro. So
Oh,
Yep.
nice,
Yep.
nice.
I've been on a tear, but
Maybe
yeah.
we'll talk about
And-
it. Just maybe.
maybe we'll see
I-
about that.
And I do have to say this to a fellow Spectre. Happy N7 day.
You already know,
Yes.
son. Let's go. I always rock it, and it's one of those hats that's like, if you know, you know, because it's not
Yeah.
like in your face.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You know,
but
you know.
I do, yeah, but I do have, Shepherd's hoodie, so like, with
Mhm.
the red, with the red and everything. So.
I'm the same. I have a single patch that I always have on my backpack, and every
Nice.
once in a while, someone's like, "Hey, N7." Like, oh,
I
sweet,
have
man.
I have a black bomber jacket that I wear the N7 keychain that was more like a pull tab on bomber jackets. That's
Yeah.
right there on the side.
Nice. I'll
But,
tell you this, man. Maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I'll say it. There was one time where this hat got me through security at an airport. It was like, "Oh man, Mass Effect. Go ahead." Like, I'm not even lying.
No way.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
I was like,
I
really?
did.
That's
Dude,
so
Tony, I
great.
did send you. Did I send you the pictures from when I went to Fan Expo here in Denver over the summer
I believe you did. Yes.
with the art book
Yeah,
signed
that was
by
amazing.
all three of them? Yeah. And then
talk about a bro moment though, right there.
Dude, that's
Dude,
freaking awesome.
that's
it's
awesome.
Mass Effect.
Yes, Mass
That's,
Effect.
that's
That's
just the
awesome.
way it is, man.
I'm actually going to be playing that game for the first time, the very
Let's
first one.
go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Nice.
girl, nice. I still
Yeah.
have not played.
Well,
it. So you're,
So-
you're-
really, you have two super fans of it, of Mass Effect that if you have questions, absolutely
Mass
hit us
Effect
up.
is life. You're gonna be dreaming in conversation wheels. I guarantee
Yes.
you that happened to us.
Mhm.
That's what happened to me when I played Halo 1 for the first time. I was like, what's happening here? Why am I seeing the Halo dude in my dreams right now?
It happens.
He's just like, you will just wake up right now. Just wake
And
up.
then-
I'm like, okay.
Harold, you've had a year and
Yeah.
half to be an understatement. Why don't you catch up everybody else up on the shenanigans you've been up to?
So first of all, I just want to say I kind of look like Monica Lewinsky on Pink right now. I wanted to wear something special for the 300,
Oh, loving
So,
that from you.
But yeah, it's been an absolutely fucking bonkers of a year because not
Mhm.
only was I vouched for to send a key to for Dragon Age Veilguard, so EA and BioWare got around to sending me that, which I have the
Mhm.
absolute humbling opportunity to get to review. I'm so excited
Nice.
about that. Just did a review that
Very
came
cool.
out for whatchamacallit, it's not remasters. Someone had to correct me on that. The PC ports for Resident Evil Trilogy 1, 2, and 3. Capcom sent those over for a review, and I was able to have Nick Apostoliadis in the review, who does the voice of Leon
Wow.
Kennedy. So I
Ooh.
was
Nice.
Dang.
happy
Very
about
cool.
that. Like,
That's
he's such a cool
impressive.
dude. Like, he's literally just a gaming nerd at heart, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, it was so cool to get to do that. I'd been doing Souls and Souls-like content and been moving over to Blue Sky because I said goodbye to Twitter today. Besides, like, posting
Oh,
updates
wow.
and everything, I'm not
Okay.
going to be much on Twitter anymore. So,
That's fair.
Okay.
yeah.
Which
There's
we'll just segue really quick.
There's only so many platforms that you want to post
Oh,
on,
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it just gets
Which-
tiring.
And plus, I mean, I mean this in a way, like, because comedy is kind of like how Chandler is in Friends, is a way to, like, deal with the situation. There's only
Yeah.
so many death threats I can get per day. Like, I don't want to do
Yeah.
that anymore.
That's fair.
Don't
Yeah,
want to
we'll,
deal with it.
and we can segue into that super quick, is that
Yeah.
I'm now on Blue Sky, and the
Nice.
podcast
Yeah.
now has a profile over on Blue Sky as well.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Everyone's moving over to where the sky is blue. Like, I love it.
yeah.
You know?
First it
and
was
other-
First it was threads, and then it was, that's starting to see the toxicity now starting to show up from
Mhm.
Xland and whatnot. So I mean, I think Tony's got the right approach in some cases. Just
Oh, I'm going down with the ship.
go down with the
I'm,
ship
going
and then be
out,
done.
I'm not moving because I've seen this before. The same people that are going to Blue Sky now, in a week or two, are going to be right back on Twitter. Like we saw this
Okay.
happen already. So I'm going down with the ship, bro. I'm good.
I kind
Well,
of want to
also
see
keeping the
which one
Twitter accounts,
like
but-
stays consistent because yeah, like you just mentioned, the threads and the other socials that they were trying to transition over to. I'm gonna wait and see which one sticks, and then I'll move over if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Like if Twitter goes down, I'm done with social media because it'll give me my excuse to leave because social media has been horrible.
That's such
you
a
know?
great
Yes.
excuse. Like that, I do applaud that. Like, yeah, stick with it, and if it dies, oh, you know what? I'm done too. I get it.
That's my plan. I'm like, if Twitter dies, I'm done. I'm really, really done. You know,
And
Yeah.
you
plus,
could just
the-
find. Go ahead.
And plus, the thing about that is that everybody that you care about has your number, so you're not
Yeah.
losing any contacts anyway with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm
that's
still,
fair.
doing my content on Tom's Guide, still doing Throwdown, so I'm good. Like I've gotten to a point
Yep.
where I don't need that platform to promote myself anymore.
Yeah. Now, Ariel, was it Windows magazine that you were writing for?
Windows Central.
Windows Central. So
Yeah.
yeah, you were doing some articles for Windows Central.
Yeah, I did
this
videos and
past year,
articles for
and
Windows Central. And then I
Man.
also got with my other fellow Game Informer employees, we all got laid off of Game Informer, which was lovely
Ouch.
to go through, I say
Yeah.
sarcastically. But it was an interesting time because ironically enough, I found that I was in Michael's craft store with my mom and I opened up Twitter. I'm like, since when were we all canned? What happened
Oh
here?
man.
Oh man.
Like,
ouch.
Jesus
Which-
Christ.
we did
So-
an episode about that. Like
Yeah.
when they announced not only was Game Informer closing, but then by the way, we're also going to be doing graded cards. I was like,
Yeah.
so wait, you laid off an entire staff in a magazine that everybody actually cared about to do trade-ins
That's
on
so
cards.
wild because when I went to go pick up a game a few days ago, and I was in line, the two people in front of me were picking up like a stack of graded cards. I just like,
Wow.
that's so weird. That was just so weird to me. Like, okay, at GameStop. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's times have changed,
Kind of a
So,
little bit.
Yeah.
So
Kinda
Tony,
weird.
I got to ask you.
Yeah.
You brought up the PS5 Pro. What are your thoughts? Is it really that worth it right now?
Okay.
Or can you talk about it?
Oh no, the embargo's lifted. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Every
Okay.
we could buy it now.
Well, I also don't want to like mess with your articles or anything like that.
Oh no, it's all
Yeah.
done, bro.
Oh,
you know.
jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like it's kind of interesting. I actually didn't do the written review. One of the guys who's been covering PS5 for like as long before I even got there, he pled his case for why he should review it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So that freed me up to just do
Wow.
videos on it, and
Nice.
some
Sick.
supporting content.
There you go.
So I pretty much did a video review. If you guys saw it on Tom's Guide YouTube channel, I pretty much did a review of it. So the heart of it is, if you are a hardcore PlayStation guy, you don't have a PC, you don't have an Xbox, all you do is play on PlayStation, and you want the best possible graphics, and you have a TV that can support this stuff, talk about 120 hertz, VRR
Mhm.
support, yeah, it's worth it. If you're like a hardcore PlayStation guy, absolutely. But if you're more of a casual PlayStation person, right, and or intermediate, and I don't want to, casual kind of means something bad within gaming terms, but if you're like an intermediate, like regular person, let's just a regular person, or you have a gaming PC or Steam Deck or whatever,
Okay.
you're gonna be fine. You can stick with your PS5, it'll be fine. And to prove that point, last weekend, when I was testing it out, I had one of my friends staying over. It was kind of crazy. It's like last week was one of the craziest weeks I ever had, but I also had 2 concerts to go to, so it was like a nice break. So my friend was staying with me that week because he lives in Pennsylvania. He was staying over, so we were just testing out the PS5. What I purposely did was I had both the regular PS5 and the PS5 Pro on, and we would switch back and forth between the games. And
Sick.
the thing we consistently kept saying was, man, the regular PS5 looks good. Yeah. So the point is like, if you're just a regular PlayStation gamer, or regular gamer, you're fine with your PS5. But if you are that mega hardcore PlayStation guy, get it. I do want to talk about some things that surprised me, because Mark Cerny, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong here, I remember him saying you will no longer have to choose between fidelity and performance. I remember him saying that.
I
right?
remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I find it very interesting that the instant I get into options, all of a sudden there's a fidelity pro mode and a performance pro mode. Like,
Oh,
so I have to choose? Really?
Interesting.
So that was kind of annoying. Granted, each of those modes is better than their respective equivalents on the previous one.
Mhm.
Like with basically Performance Pro, you get a lot of the fidelity and the graphical effects of the previous fidelity mode, but with better, not only better frame rates that are 60, but even above 60 in some points, 120 hertz and stuff, especially if you enable PSSR, which if for you PC people, that's basically the equivalent of NVIDIA DLSS or AMD's FSR. You know, it's like AI like not AI generated, but like AI assisted frame boosting, right? Looks silky smooth. And then with Fidelity Pro mode in some games, you know, you get the 4K and you get close to 60. Not 100% 60. But here's like, for example, I was playing Spider-Man 2, right? With just Fidelity Pro mode on and with under 20 hertz mode and VRR off, it was 30 frames. I'm like, oh wow. But if you toggle those on, then you're gonna get it close to 60. But remember, you need a right TV for that. You need a TV that could output at minimum 120 hertz and that has VRR support. So that's another thing. Even if you are a hardcore PlayStation dude, if you got an old ass TV, don't bother upgrading.
Yep, not gonna bother then.
Little
Yeah,
box.
Yeah,
DLR,
and I know you guys remember this. It was the same deal with the PS4 Pro. If you didn't have the right TV, don't bother. You know, that's
I bought
why
I bought my monitor specifically when I got my PS4 Pro.
Yeah, see, there you go.
You know, it's a HDR 4K. Like it made every use of the PS4 Pro. So it's still humming along, you know, 5 years later. But
yeah, there you go, man. But yeah, no, PS5 Pro, it is like it objectively is the best console ever released. It's just powerful, you know. But again, but you have to also keep in mind, you know, $700. And what was I doing during my testing? You know how many new games I tested? 0. There's no games for this thing, really.
Nope,
There's
it's
no
all
games.
just
Yeah, it's all
updates
stuff.
So
you know?
I have a question on the Fidelity. So since technically the Pro is supposed to have both really melded together, do you gather, or do you feel that maybe at this point in time it's game specific, or they're not living up to their word right now, or it's maybe coming in a later date? Like as an update?
Right now they, you know, at launch there were 50 games that were like optimized for the PS5 Pro, and more games are coming. As a matter of fact, before I tested it, Final Fantasy 7 had not gotten the update, so it did get the update at launch, and there's going to be more coming. But I'm really glad you asked that question, because not all games have those modes like that. For example, okay, Insomniac games, you get to choose between fidelity and performance.
Right.
But with The Last of Us, a Part 2 remastered, there is a specific PS5 Pro mode, which does blend them both together.
Interesting.
So that keeps it balanced.
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing. During my testing, I found, because just like the PS4 Pro, if a game has unlocked frame rates, the sheer power of the machine is going to boost it up automatically, right? So I actually found that if you're playing The Last of Us 2 remastered, it is better to play in fidelity mode which is 4K, because the shit's still going to be 60 frames a second, just because the PS5 Pro is so powerful.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, okay, yo, this is better. Okay. You know? And also during that time, the Monster Hunter beta was happening. And I first started on the regular PS5, and in its fidelity mode, it was like 30 frames a second, right? But you could tell it would go up and down and stuff depending what was happening on screen. Played on the PS5 Pro, all of a sudden, close to 60 frames. And it hasn't even been optimized. So I'm like, ooh, what happens if they actually optimize this game? Which they probably will, because the game drops in February, you know? So yeah, we're gonna get more games that are optimized for it. And it is objectively impressive, but it's also $700, bro. That's a lot of money. You know,
plus
that's
the TV, plus the TV to do it with too. So
yeah,
no,
you're
right about that.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I'm upgrading the TV first.
Yeah. Now, when we were talking about that, it's been 46 weeks essentially since you guys have been on, and we've actually skipped a week or two for whatever. But Arielle, you brought up a very good point about Game Informer and how you found out about that whole thing going down. I want to get your guys' takes though on the industry as a whole right now.
Well, we go on hot takes part 2, Matt.
We're going hot takes part 2 right now.
Turn hot takes.
Nice.
I want hot takes part 2. No, I mean with all the layoffs, with all the studio closures, how do you guys feel about the state of the industry as a whole right now?
I feel both pessimistic and optimistic about it because for two main reasons. One, I feel like as a freelancer, a lot of the industry really doesn't care about freelancers because we're very expendable and we're very much in this kind of weird position of where we're making a name for ourselves still, so we don't have a permanency within the industry. I can't tell you after Game Informer and everything happened, I was submitting job applications left, right, center to The Verge, to, trying to get into the Washington Post, trying to do everything that I can, literally. I mean, even, like, my gosh, like I was even talking with Tony of, potentially like trying to get a position to work at Tom's Guide because I want to be able to just get to write anywhere. Like that's my passion. It's what I love. It's what I want to do. And I feel like the way in which the industry is good is that you have progression with games. You have accessibility features that are being more progressive right now. You have different games that are coming out that are absolutely phenomenal. You have new job openings for people in new parts of the industry that we never really seen before. So I feel like there's both a good and a bad to it, but it's still growing and nurturing. Keep in mind, we've only had games realistically for a little over 40 years now. It's still a new industry.
Yeah. My
So.
take on it is, I for many years I was asked what's going to cause another game crash, right? Everybody remembers 1983 and all that, and I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, I think we've been in one for the past 3 years. It's just been very slow. And if you want evidence, 2020, 2024 is all you need. How many people have been laid off in this industry? It's got to be like good 10,000 people, probably
10
more.
plus, yeah.
Yeah, it's so, and then you have game studios shutting down everywhere. Fans aren't happy. So I'm like, I think we're living in the middle of the crash. So I don't think things are going to get any better. And I'm going to say this now. This is going to sound really messed up, but it's just the honest truth. And I don't mean this in a mean way. I am very glad I left the game industry because it looks like a heap of fire, basically. Like nothing looks good. Like, like you have, again, studios closing because you have these crazy budgets out of control. You have these executives who, are very happy to cut off their employees and then take a pay raise. It's a lot of bad stuff. And, and I've been complaining this entire generation about the quality of games. I know COVID affected everything, but things are just not looking good. And I don't really know when they'll rebound. They will, because gaming is just too big. It's not the difference between now and 1983 is gaming is an established form of art. It's the biggest form of entertainment. So it's not gonna. What I think is gonna happen is we're gonna see a reduction, and we're seeing it now. And then it'll stabilize to something normal. And also I want to use this. And Matt, there's something you and I talked about, like off air. I have to give props. Okay, you think about it. Every single company out there has had massive layoffs.
Except
who hasn't had one? Think about it. I'll give you a clue.
You and I have talked about, and they're actually part of the subject for tonight too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and I have talked about this at length on Twitter and stuff. But yeah, it's the one in the big one that doesn't care about graphics as much.
The big one who is about to launch a new console next year.
Yep.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo, you know why? Because during 2020, 2021, when everybody was home buying games, studios were like, oh, this money's coming in. Let's go crazy. Let's hire all this staff. Let's do this, that. Nintendo was like, oh, look at all this money coming in. Okay. Put it to its side. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Put it under the mattress for a rainy day.
Yeah, and Nintendo was the only smart company. Every company stupidly thought that the good times were gonna roll forever. But Nintendo, they're the ones laughing at the end, and they probably have accumulated enough money where that Switch 2 is probably going to be a very, very nice. As a matter of fact, people are predicting that the Switch 2 is going to cost a lot of money. I think because Nintendo made so much money, they could sell it to you for $300.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing about it is that like everything that Nintendo is doing right now, I feel like they're working towards more innovation because Does Pokemon Scarlet look like a hot mess a lot of the time? Yeah, it does. But the graphics that we see now on Tears of the Kingdom, that we're seeing on now newer games that are coming from Nintendo, it's looking progressively better and better. And I feel like Nintendo is that non-problematic middle child that wants to do everything to make their parents happy. So what's going to happen is, you guys know
Well
it's
said.
true.
Well said.
I mean, the way I always say it is that Nintendo has always been the family console. So I mean, like,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not
the
going to try to
6-year-old,
make
the
any drama.
7-year-olds, they're gonna be able to play these games like Pokemon. It looks like it's still 2005 graphics, but it's
Yep.
okay because they're 6 years old, they're 7 years old, supposedly, you know, like that they're targeting towards. And like, I mean, you're not gonna see this, oh my God, look at these blades of grass, like as
No.
we are like at this age. They're gonna be like,
Yeah, no.
oh my God, I get to look at this like weird looking dinosaur thing and or whatever it may be.
I mean,
It's
come on,
like,
look at the
Yeah.
game I constantly am still playing.
Animal Crossing.
Animal
like,
Crossing. Like,
you could you
Ditto. Me
And
too.
It literally
realistic-
is the same game on GameCube. The only difference is that it just has a new name. That's it. And it's on a different
realistically,
platform.
realistically, the Nintendo Switch is for those unproblematic people like us who just want to sit in bed, relax with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever your beverage of choice is, and just not deal with the outside stuff for a little bit. Relax at
Yep.
night.
Yeah.
Understand that the world has its own pace, we have ours, and that's okay because I say this all the time in a lot of my reviews, you don't always need the fanciest graphics. You don't always need like a high powered, high energy story of a hero trying to save the day. Sometimes all you need to do is just exist in a game and exist in its world for what it is. That's it.
yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of which, I have a question for all of you, and that's actually a good segue because in the discussions that we were having on the downfall of the gaming industry and where it's going in direction, what about I kind of feel like there's a constant looming rumor every year whether or not this is going to be our last console, to where you know, now every year we're kind of thinking, is this going to be the last year? Now Microsoft X the S and X, right? Is possibly their last console, Microsoft's last console. What's going on with, you know, Sony's thought process now? Obviously, the Switch 2 is coming, but after that, are there plans? I was just wondering, what are your guys' thoughts?
Okay, so I want to jump in on that. Okay, remember during the Activision trial or whatever, all that nonsense that happened last year?
Yeah.
It actually, Microsoft has to actually admit they are working on the next Xbox, right? So they are coming out with another Xbox, and we just learned that AMD is going to be making the chip for the
chipset
PlayStation
for it?
6.
Okay.
So we will be getting new consoles, but I think your question will be more pertinent the generation after that.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think Nintendo will continue doing its thing. Because, you know, Nintendo's always like 20 years behind, basically. And I'm not even being facetious about that.
Well, no,
Like,
that's kind of true. Once they
is
find
true.
their niche, they kind of stick with it. And
yeah,
they found the Switch. It works. You know, they're innovating a little bit from the leaks of the Switch 2, you know, however it's coming out. But you're right. They kind of stick with it. So, yeah.
And I think
so what I think will happen is, if we're gonna have anyone bow out first of the console market, it will be Microsoft, because remember, Microsoft is traditionally a software company. So I wouldn't be surprised if, and you already see it, the Xbox app
Totally
on
agree.
certain televisions, right? Yeah. So I think that, yeah, because remember, their goal is they want to get all mobile users and stuff to get on Xbox, right? Whether that'll work, we don't know. With PlayStation, I'm not so sure. On Throwdown, the question show, we did the Sony's financials. They just released their quarterly report. Dude, 35% of their revenue comes from PlayStation, of the entire Sony division.
And then the other major chunk of it comes from their chip division.
Yeah,
that does the sensors for cameras, or
Yeah,
you know, for
cameras.
digital cameras and
Which
whatnot.
is, I would say, their
I mean,
other part of their market, like their professional market. They, you know,
Yes.
they have a market, but
yeah, those are
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, so
I'm
yeah,
not surprised
PlayStation-
at all.
Yeah,
So-
PlayStation and electronics. And by the way, no surprise, because Madam Web was such a big hit. Sony Pictures,
Yeah.
tanking.
Don't
You
hurt
know?
me.
It's already
please
on
don't hurt
Netflix for
me.
free now.
Yeah, well, there go. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm not sure what Sony will do because they're Sony's interesting because they act like a Japanese company and a Western company simultaneously. You know, so I don't know. You know, Japanese
Yeah.
are more traditional. Westerners
So-
are more willing to innovate. So I'm not sure if Sony will be like, we're not going to make another PlayStation. But I think Microsoft, after whatever console comes out in 2026, I think they're going to be done after that.
So let me ask this question, right? And we're talking about the new consoles coming out is if the proposed tariffs are put in place, with the game industry being as fragile as it is right now, do you think seeing a 20% bump on the cost across the board would actually be potentially the straw that'll break the camel's back?
Yeah, that's above my pay grade to answer, so I don't know. I'm not gonna dive into that.
Also, I
yeah,
think
go
that's
ahead.
a question that I think that's comes in time. I think you have to read the terrain,
Yeah.
you know, in time when that's happening, because
So
that's a good question, because are they gonna are games gonna be up to $80 to $90?
because if
And the
you look
next
at that,
console
like
be averaging what, $600 to $700 for the console?
at that point, right, the PS5 Pro at $700 would now become $840.
Right. Or the
Mhm.
next console be $100 more, and that's the
Do you think
standard
people-
MSRP. Like that's
Do you think people could afford $1,000 for a console if that's
Hell
what the
no.
next generation
No,
In
price
this
is at?
market, no way.
no
Yeah,
way.
Oh my God.
it's too much.
If
but
anything,
Maybe if minimum wage went up to $30.
yeah. If
Only
anything,
$30?
what I would hope for
Only?
is what I would hope for in the future, if somehow it's easier to render or make gaming the process of making the games a bit more innovative. If we got innovative in that area, to where I guess it would catch up to the market for gaming, to where maybe the pricing wouldn't change as much. But it all depends. Like, that's a good question, Matt. That I think we have to wait and kind of read
Because I
what's
think
going on.
with the gaming industry as a whole, right, they're not hitting their budgets like they're proposing. I mean, to
No.
Tony's point, right?
We're still
Granted-
doing crunch times, like you
Could
said.
you-
We're still doing going with the old ways. We got to figure out other ways of how to make
Look
it.
at look at Arielle moving her camera just so you can see her.
No, I wasn't trying to do
PS4,
that.
her Switch,
the subtle
and
flex.
her
you
I
Xbox.
know?
Her subtle flex, just like
Very
love it.
cool.
No, I wasn't doing that. My cat is snoring so fucking loudly that it can be picked up in the camera, so I have to move it away.
Wow.
a
That's
little
impressive.
bit.
I
He
will say
literally-
this: she does have good taste in the Switch system that she has. Just saying.
Yeah,
I
very
do,
nice.
yeah.
Because
I do.
you and I
that
both
was-
have you and I both have the AC Switch, so
You see, it's a
Um,
master in how it is, but I do actually have to put my input into the question that you asked, because I feel like we're not going to see consoles anymore after 2027, most likely, and then it's all going to go into handhelds. Because most
Mhm.
people right now,
Yeah.
if you see how the market is trending, we're seeing an uptick in handheld gaming, and
And
all
mobile.
of my yeah, and
Yeah.
all of my friends right now are so driven either to the Steam Deck, to the Rogue Ally, to the Switch. They're not bothering with a lot of the stuff, because why? There has been such a unreliability now with manufacturers, chips, sell it, like
Mhm.
everything has gotten so fucking expensive that it
Yep.
is so unreliable to be able to estimate, well, when am I going to get this PS5 in the mail? When am I going to do this? And it's such a first world problem. Yes, I realize this. But it's also a very important problem that businesses have to understand, because if they can't get their product or sell it even on time, there's no point in making someone wait, or a manufacturer wait, or even a consumer wait. So I feel like the only reason that we are going to have physicals left, if any at all, is going to be for collectors, and they're going to do limited edition copies of certain consoles.
They
and
started doing that
speaking of evil corporations,
already.
Jesus.
Song has joined us.
Vic, what's up, bud?
Hey,
Vic.
folks, how you doing? I just wanted to come by and say hi.
Oh, thank you so much.
How is the nicest bunch of podcasters around?
How's it going, bud?
Doing all right.
Doing well. Thank you for showing.
Vic, you have not been on with Tony and Arielle. So
Yeah.
Tony Polanco.
Actually, Vic was in my review for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Very
Good
cool.
to meet you.
Yeah, I'm doing
So,
well. How about
it's nice.
you?
Yes, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Tony.
Awesome.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just finishing having an argument with my kids, but that's
Yeah.
No.
Sneaking
down
into
the
the
law.
studio.
it's that thing where it's just like I had picked up like these little mini apple pies from Trader Joe's, and I thought it'd be nice to have that, but then when you behave like a jerk, you're not gonna get it. Then all of a sudden there's all these promises and stuff like that of I'm gonna behave and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, but we're not doing this thing where I dangle something in front of you and then
Oh.
you behave, and then maybe good things happen.
Not
So
always
anyway,
negotiating.
Yeah.
and it's just yeah. Anyway, so this is just having kids, but whatever.
Yes, it is.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So Ariel,
No,
you're
it's the
talking
whole
about,
point.
That's the point of this.
I
this
told you guys.
podcast.
I
We
told
don't
you
get
guys
crashed
said if you,
enough.
Everybody,
Especially for
yeah,
our
we don't
name.
have people crash enough. Yeah, exactly.
yes,
Yeah, that's the name of the podcast, right? Crashing
That's
Game
true.
Night.
Exactly.
the whole
I
premise
still-
behind it.
I still have my crashing game night tank top. I wear it to the gym regularly, and yeah, I always feel
Nice.
energized when I wear it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate it, Vic.
Yeah.
You can hop by anytime.
Oh
Yeah, we were just talking shop as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And so what were you saying now?
Ariel was finishing up a very good point on
Yeah.
well, Ariel, did you want to discuss
So I was just saying that, a lot of the time when we see consoles and everything nowadays, I feel like we're seeing more of the limited edition ones that are like for Cyberpunk or for Halo and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like if consoles are going to stay around much longer, it's not going to be in the way that we see them now. It's going to be more for collectors, kind of the way
I
record
agree.
players have become. Like
Yeah, which is
I remember
sad.
picking up a record player like 2 or 3 years ago, thinking like, they only sell these at like, pawn shops or like collection stores and stuff. And like I remember my dad saying, well, why don't we pick up records to go with it, because that store was currently going out of business and we were seeing
Mhm.
so many of those, and if that was the case, we had to get Fleetwood Mac. I mean, come on. So
Nice. No, I totally agree. I think what you guys were saying on the future of where consoles could go,
Yep.
I think you hit it on the nail. If it doesn't if it's not in the major consumer market, yeah, I think we're seeing more and more need and want for those limited edition or 30th anniversary or like you
Yeah.
said, those specialty item consoles where that might be the only way you can get a console, and you have to decide which one you want.
Well, it's not
Because
even that, but I mean, like both me and Jerry were one of the both of us still strongly agree on having physical copies. But yeah, there are games now that are starting to just have the digital download, but everything else is physical. Like you get a steel book with nothing in it. You get the
Yeah.
art book and like whatever it comes
which
with.
I do kind of want to argue now, which some of the companies that have been kind of struggling with Sony and Microsoft, the major companies on distribution for the digital market, where now like Black Myth Wukong, that company, they're starting to come out with physical copies of their game, because in certain areas they're not going to allow you to actually keep the digital format if you even if you paid for it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so now is that going to be a thing? Is that going to start an uproar in the future? That's something to look at and see in the future.
Hmm.
But yeah, but that just makes me happy because more physical.
I do want to jump on a point Ariel made, and it's funny. I literally review handhelds for a living, and it never even occurred to me that could be the future of gaming, because these things are getting the Steam Deck, for example, is as powerful as the PS4 Pro, which is. And the Switch is about to be as powerful as the PS4. Then you got the ROG Ally, which is even more powerful than that. So that could be a good way
crazy.
of combining things. But here's the thing, though: an ROG Ally, at least the latest one, also cost $700. So remember, these things are not going to be cheap, but at the same
No.
time, you're getting a fully fledged PC. I got a story for you guys. You're going to love this, right? So I, you know, again, I'm a laptop reviewer, and I was trying to help a friend, you know, find a good work laptop, and he's a gamer too. And I was like, hey, have you ever thought about an ROG Ally as your gaming laptop? Because you could connect it to a monitor and a keyboard and everything, and it works just like a computer. Dude, he did that, and he's happy. He's like, this is great.
Nice.
I have a capable computer that I could just play games on. And here's the funny thing: he's a lawyer, so he's coming to office with an ROG Ally. You know,
That's awesome.
He hooks it up to his monitor, starts going. It's great. So that could, these machines are getting so powerful. I could see in like maybe 10 years, maybe before that, after the next console cycle. Yeah, what if they decide, you know what, everything's just handheld now. You want to play on your TV? We got a dock for you. We're good. That could be it.
I mean, there's renewed rumors of a Vita 2.
Yeah,
you know? And I could almost see the PS6 going the way of being a hybrid.
Could the PS Portal be like a segue of what the Vita might kind of be?
The Portal is to PlayStation what the Wii U was to Nintendo.
On my podcast, I called the Portal the Sony Toad it. They're testing the waters.
I agree.
Yeah, and that thing sold very. Even though you cannot play games on that thing, on device, it sold like crazy.
Yeah,
there's demand for.
I was really surprised at the sales of that thing. That like it.
Me too.
It made a hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
and
really interesting because that was where I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time.
Yeah, there you go. When I went to CES this year, I met with Asus, right? Regular appointment, and but behind the scenes, I asked them like, "Hey, what because I was curious, like, would you guys, how did the ROG Ally sell, the original one?" And they told me like it sold way better than they expected, and to prove the point, they released a sequel to it, basically. So and Lenovo is about to come out with one. That's what rumors are saying. MSI has already tried 2 times. There's rumors that Acer is going to have one. Everybody's jumping on this thing. So why wouldn't Sony get in there too?
So talking about Nintendo, let's kind of segue into that really quick since they're on the handheld side. They released their Black Friday promos.
Already.
Yes.
Wow. J-Rock. Keep watching. We gotta watch.
I'm my eyes are.
Hold on.
Just have your bucket ready for your salivation.
Oh my goodness!
We got to plan
that. We're gonna go in our little.
Keep the beard clean.
Our little theater.
Little projection room. Okay.
Our little projection room. This time, Jason's not quite as small as he usually is in the 4-person theater that we use.
It's okay.
We've been doing this.
Life,
you know what? It's because I'm so far away from my my.
This makes me feel like I'm in college again.
Jason,
so this is something we've been doing.
Zoom.
Zoom. No, this is something we've been started doing. It's one of the updates to like Zoom. It allows us to have these little immersion rooms. So we when we do share, it's just the 4 of us. It's like we go into a little movie theater. Anyway, so these are starting on 11/24. So they're gonna have $20 off. These select games are gonna have. Tears of the Kingdom is going to be $50. Mario Maker 2, Animal Crossing, Pikmin 4, Switch Sports, and Kirby. All those are going to be $40. And then you got Mario Odyssey and Pikmin 1 and 2 for $30, which I think Mario Odyssey at $30 for anybody that doesn't have a Switch, that should be a absolute pickup right there.
Yeah,
at $30.
That's a fun game. I might try Kirby.
Kirby's fun. I have Forgotten Land. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
Have you voiced in any of these, Vic?
Say it again.
Have you voiced in any of these? Hopefully.
I have not. I have not.
No.
I wish I had. That'd be fantastic to be a part of any of those. So
yeah, right.
But you are part of Mortal Kombat though.
Yes.
And a small independent title called Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I feel like if things break right for if it gets lucky, maybe that could maybe the people might notice that game. So we'll see.
Right. But yeah, so all these $20 off. These are actually some good titles. Switch Sports,
those are good starter games
for $40 is a great actual game night game, with,
Yeah.
you
Tears, Animal Crossing for $40. That's not bad at all.
dude,
Yeah,
honestly,
not
I've gotten
bad.
my $60 worth out of that game. Like, I've been playing it
Yes,
since
we
You
know.
got my
The
$60
last few
out
years
of it.
we
I
know.
don't even have it, Matt. That's how much
so-
you got out of it.
right?
Even
So
Tears
even
of the Kingdom was just a joy to go through, like trying to figure out different combinations in order to solve an issue. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So
What else do we got here?
kids trying to crash game night. Speaking of kids, Vic. Then they're gonna do they're gonna do
nice.
$20 off the red and blue Joy-Con bundle, $20 off the Pro controllers, $10 off the Zelda carrying case that comes with the screen protector.
Any discount for a Pro controller is a great
must
discount.
buy,
That means
Yes.
that's got a $50 controller right there, and those controllers last a while. I finally, my original Pro controller that I've had for all these years finally died.
Really?
Wow.
Yesterday,
Oh, wow.
the joystick on the left side just died completely. Like, doesn't matter.
Gosh.
Doesn't want to go anywhere. So it's like,
Hmm.
well, good thing we have a couple extras in the house. And then they're going to be doing bundles. So they're doing the standard Switch at $299, coming with Mario Kart 8 and 12-month of the individual Switch
Wow.
Online.
Wow.
Now that's not the plus, the one that has the expansion pack, but it's
Right.
still 12 months of
Still the
online.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The OLED, they're doing that for
OLED.
$350, with the with
wow.
Mario Kart 8 and the 12-month. And then they're also doing the Zelda Switch Lite.
Of
It does
course.
come with the 12-month.
Gotta do a limited edition something.
Oh, dude, it's been out for a little while.
Didn't you
But
just
anyway,
finish
it
saying
has?
that needed
Oh,
to
I
happen
didn't know
more?
yeah.
No, I
Anyways.
said that we're projected to see that happening more, but
But didn't you
No,
say you wanted that to happen more?
kind of. I do like the
Okay.
special.
There you
Well,
go.
right now, I just checked it out. Actually, the Nintendo Switch, just the white OLED model is $349. So
Yeah.
that might actually go down to $250.
Probably.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, that might actually go down to $250. I'm projecting
knows?
because a lot of stuff on Amazon, they mark their stuff down so you can only get those prices on Amazon and not in the store.
But they also
Yeah.
do those like select quantities. So
Yeah.
they only do
Mhm.
it for so
Oh
long.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They sell out
But-
quick for those
Yeah.
prices.
Yeah.
Even at 209, right, or 210 rather, for the Switch Lite, and it's coming with the online and the expansion pack for that. I mean, all three of those
Oh, give
bundles,
me
if
one
you haven't
second.
gotten into the Switch yet, those are all
Hmm.
great bundles to get into. And Mario Kart 8 alone, that's the friendship killer that keeps on giving.
I don't want to talk about.
I mean, I
matter,
feel
Jerry?
like it's at the end of its cycle though. Like I feel like Mario Kart 9 is gonna
Yeah.
come out soon.
It needs to. Yeah,
There's-
we're at the point where it needs to come out right now. I feel.
So there is rumor that Mario Kart 9 is going to be a launch title for the Switch too.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
sounds surprising.
Okay, nice.
Makes sense.
Cool.
I'm just glad it's not Pokemon right now because they need to chill out just for a little bit. Take some time. Go to a
I mean,
resort.
they're too busy with their lawsuit against Pal
I know.
World, so that makes sense.
Listen, when I
Yeah.
worked for Windows Central Gaming, okay, that we knew that was going to happen. We were writing up the articles
yeah.
and thinking, I wonder when this is going to hit the fan right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
You can zoom back in now. We're
Speaking
no longer
of,
in the theater.
Speaking of
Jason-
Nintendo suing people, have you heard the recent story?
Oh, are you
About
talking about the guy down in
Nintendo.
Castle Rock?
Yeah, that's getting sued by
Yes.
Nintendo. So there's a
7.5
there's a
Five
Twitch streamer,
Nintendo is wild,
mil.
man.
Twitch streamer
What?
getting sued for streaming, supposedly streaming games of Nintendo's that hadn't been released yet.
Oh,
And
jeez.
that he's done like 10 different games and it's done like 50 times. So they're trying to sue him for $150,000 per time that he's done it. So it's like equating to like $7.2 million.
Oh
Damn.
my gosh.
But reporters have reached out to him and supposedly he hasn't even been served papers yet.
So
So,
yeah, I
like,
was. I saw.
they're claiming that they're
Wow.
suing him, but he doesn't know about it. Really.
But he did say so. They also showed screenshots of when Nintendo reached out to him and said, "Hey, we need you to stop this." They warned him a couple of times to say, "Please stop this." Right. And he basically said that he's got like 30 burner accounts, so he could do it all day long.
Oh wow.
So
Jeez.
it's like, well, you dumbass, because Nintendo wasn't going to
It's
sue.
just
Like,
short of admitting that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, they reached out to say, hey, can you please just stop this? They weren't going to sue him at that point. And then when he basically said, well, I can keep doing this all day long, they're like, okay, screw you.
Yep.
You know, and
Wow.
it was games that have not been released that basically he got as part of those last couple of leaks that have hit. You know, one of them was when all the Pokemon stuff got released and whatnot. So it's like literally stuff that hasn't even hit the shelf yet. Hasn't gone
Yeah.
through to gold
Locked
and
in.
whatnot.
Some
So,
sort of guy in the legal system or whatever that's representing him thinks that he got it off of the dark web. And
Yeah.
that's how he got the leaks. So
Yeah, there's a phrase for that. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
gonna be interesting. I mean, I hope they win, but the story that I saw, the guy that was kind of comparing it to like Napster and college kids in dorms, like it's kind of the same thing, sort of thing. I mean, peer sharing.
But the difference was, hold on, the
like-
difference was back then we were downloading music that was already out.
True, and also we weren't
Yeah.
blasting it, saying that we didn't have it.
Social media wasn't
Or
even
also
as
just
prevalent when
bragging that we
Napster
were
was
doing
there.
No, we had Napster, we had
Or
LimeWire.
Yeah.
We had
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Plus, you got to make sure you got the right song.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's why you had to download a couple
If the
versions.
record companies are listening, we totally
the-
don't
the
know
right
what,
ver-
this is,
yeah.
what these
And that's
things
why-
are. We'd never promote stealing of copyrighted information.
That's
or
why we all started the
entertainment.
downloads while we went off to our college class.
Yeah.
Because it took too long back then.
Yeah, because it took like 5 hours just to get one
To download a
download.
3-minute
That one
song.
song, yeah,
Right.
leave it on overnight. Hopefully nobody calls you at night, you know. So it
Yeah.
goes through the modem.
And I even had, like, at my college, we even had T1 in the dorms, and it took forever.
Oh man.
Like,
God.
and that was
Yeah, but
super
T1
fast
back
at the
then was
time.
like 5 megabytes per second.
Well, true. So
We had the family computer, so if one of us was downloading a song, we just prayed no one else went into the computer room. Dad always did, so he always got. Why is the computer so slow? Every day, every day.
oh, all right. Well, Tony, I know
good
you
old
said
days.
you had to bounce right
Yeah.
at 10:30, so we're gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Again,
you
yeah.
know.
Thank you for having me on. 300 episodes is a huge accomplishment. Very proud of you guys. What you have done. It's like the meteoric rise. Like, I've kind of been here since the beginning. You know,
have
so
been.
it's just
Yeah, man.
really, really cool to just see this. And you know, I'm definitely going to be on for episode 400 and maybe 350 because that was a tradition.
Yeah.
I noticed, like, I keep.
It's
being
been
on
every 50
episodes.
It's been like
Yeah.
every 50.
Yeah,
At
and
the
I got to
very
get.
least,
so-
one of these episodes, we're going to do it with you in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That'd
we're
be
gonna have to
great.
do
I
it
got
with
to
you in
get.
That'd be
person.
awesome.
Yeah, I got to get some of you guys over on Throwdown as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be a lot
Definitely.
of fun too.
Bring
So
it.
yeah, let me get going. Vic, it was great to meet you, and thank you for all the awesome voices you keep providing for us. There, I really enjoy your work, so it's just an honor to meet you as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I feel very blessed to be able to do this stuff. So thank you.
Awesome. All right, everyone, have fun, and I'll see you next time.
Take
See ya,
care, baby.
Tony.
See you, Tony.
Later, Tony.
Bye.
Yeah, I was looking at the time. I was like, crap, it's already at that
Oh my
hour
gosh.
mark already. So if
It's
you're
okay.
like,
I mean, like we'll go extend a little bit if you know.
Well, since we were on the topic of Mario Kart, Vic, do you and the kids throw down in some Mario Kart?
No.
Oh,
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing is we should, because yeah, we still have the Wii. We haven't rusted it out for a long time. So
okay.
the reminder,
Mhm.
yeah,
There
yeah,
you go.
Cause yeah, like especially back in the pandemic, like like the Wii kept us sane, with
Yeah.
with bowling and all that stuff. So
so Vic, I will
I've
say
definitely
this.
heard of great things with doing it with his like I've heard of ideas where like if the kids lose, they have to clean up their room or do some chores, or
Oh.
if they kick dad's butt, like they
Good
get a
ideas.
treat or something.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Thank you. Maybe yeah. Thank you.
I will say this, Vic, if you want to make yourself and the kids feel better, make sure to invite Jerry.
Okay. Why is
Oh
that?
my God.
Just because he
He's terrible at Mario Kart or what?
He's not.
I'm all right. I'm
terrible.
okay. I'm
Not
okay.
terrible.
I just feel
Yeah.
like when certain people that we play with, I feel like they're ringers. You know,
what?
they just
so
Come on.
Ri-
I just feel,
definition of
every
ringer
time
means that
I'm
they
around certain people, I get the sense of
but
collusion.
definition of ringers, they're
all.
holding back their skill up front. The people that we know that play really just brag about how good they are at
Yeah,
it.
they just obliterate. Yeah.
This
I've
is the
never played
dojo.
Mario Kart before, so for me, this is like, ooh, okay, I have no idea what's going on.
This is the dojo. That's all I gotta say.
It's the
So-
only time I've ever the only time you'll ever see me get like upset. Like, this is so stupid. Like,
Ariel,
like,
don't,
how
don't
are you
play,
doing this?
Don't play with Matt
what configuration
for your
are
first
you
introduction
playing?
into
Yeah,
it. You'll cry.
Yeah.
So I
So
do.
yeah, it gives me it's a little
okay.
PTSD
Was that?
there.
Yep.
Excited to get going?
Nick's gotta go be a dad.
I just want to say hi. So good seeing you, folks. So Jason, maybe I've asked you this question before, or if not, I've always just asked this question in my head. What's the deal with the sofa?
He's
That's
our
been
late
the
night
running
talk
I should have
joke
host.
for
gotten
a
a new
while.
one. I should have gotten
Yeah.
a new one.
God, it's
He's our
300.
late
You're
night show
fired.
talk host.
It's okay. No, the deal with the sofa is because as we like to have it, all game nights happen on the sofa, and behind me is a very messy room.
Okay.
When it first started, it was even messier. It was actually in a different room. Like my wife would sometimes be behind because we would be in one room, but now we are able to switch out to a different room.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, so like the behind me is very, very messy, and I'll show it to you.
But
off,
the couch has been it's been a running thing for a long
Yeah.
while.
Oh yeah, no, ever
Yeah.
since I started. Ever
Yeah.
since,
Yeah, yeah,
ever
yeah.
But-
since I
Yeah,
started.
like
Yep.
yes, exactly.
But since we're at 300, after 300, I think
We need a new
to see
couch,
Oh
Shay.
yeah, I need to
couch.
get a new couch.
Every
Don't
need-
worry.
every
I'm
100
gonna go
episodes.
shopping,
Yeah, at least new couch.
like it's gotta
Go to
tie the room
IKEA.
together. It's gotta tie the room together,
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
okay.
Vic, it's
But
always
yeah.
been it, and plus it's always like a welcome back because
Yeah.
you've been on multiple times. Ariel's been on a few times as well,
Yep.
and it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, like always welcome back on this
Welcome
couch.
back. Take a
it's-
seat,
it's
take
the
a
same
load off,
couch.
hang out.
Sometimes it's a
So
different couch.
wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you very
sometimes it's a
much.
different couch, but all in all, it's a couch.
Well, yeah.
And maybe I'll just bring out some of my old couches. Just let's see. I had some of my couches. This
There
is
we
the
go,
first
yeah.
couch that we had. Yeah, it was the janky,
budget
like,
couch. That was a
janky,
budget
pick it up
couch,
at the
yes.
garage sale couch, and then we switched up a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
We went-
That was
Okay, there
our
you go.
first IKEA. That was our first.
Yeah, it was our first
Yep.
IKEA
our first
couch.
proud couch. Yeah.
Then we went over to like a little bit more like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is very
It's evolved.
luxurious.
Yeah, we've evolved.
Yeah.
Like,
The evolving
ooh,
couch.
we found out
I
about
think you
modern
need to
couch.
pull
and
out
then now
grandma's
we're having
couch
this very like
with the
stylish
plastic and the
business
floral and
couch.
everything.
So let's
We need grandma's couch.
There we go.
we need to get Vic out of here. He's got to go be a.
But yeah, no, Vic,
Thank you,
like,
folks.
see you again.
Thanks for
Hey,
stopping
welcome
by,
back.
Vic.
Thank
You're
you,
always
Vic.
welcome back on this
300.
couch, Vic,
Congratulations.
anytime.
Take care, bud.
All right,
Thank
Glad
you.
that you crashed in with
Bye-bye.
us.
And two, I just looked at time. I got to go be a dad too. But hey, I want to thank everybody for crashing game night tonight for our 300th episode. Especially with Tony and Arielle being back on. It is
Yes.
looking back at their episode list. They are on roughly every 50 episodes,
Nice.
give or take.
Give or
So
take.
that's the way it's
Keep
been.
the tradition
Um,
alive.
this
I just have
has been-
Exactly.
one quick request before we start doing closings. Is
Yeah.
I want to see this snoring cat that we were talking about. Can I see the snoring cat?
Yes, you can. All right,
Please?
one of them
Yes.
left. The other snoring cat is right next to me.
Yes, there's two snoring cats. Full stereo.
Oh, look at that. He's so
Aw.
upset. He's like, ah.
So awesome.
Ugh.
Oh,
So,
God,
What are you
okay.
picking me up
So-
for?
I was
I was
so
like, put me down.
happy.
Put me down.
There he is.
Um,
It's a
Oh,
big.
it's so cute.
See,
It's like
wait a second.
Binks.
Yes.
Thanks.
Wait, let's see
Binks
if we
from
can
Hocus
hear-
Pocus.
Yes.
Nice.
Love that
Wait,
movie.
do you want a
So-
per? Do you want? Wait. I think you can hear him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. See, now you stop snoring. No, oh, you're giving me the death
like,
look.
nope.
Okay, fine.
Like, no.
Um,
Pick me up.
but it's been a journey, right? We started this 1/1 of 2019. We talked about this before when we did our LA Comic-Con in review. It was really weird being back on that hallowed ground of the LA Convention Center for
Yeah.
for the first time since our first year of the podcast.
Right.
Last time we had E3 was 2019. So it's been an absolute honor and absolute privilege to at least give everybody a distraction from life over these last 300 episodes. And here's so many more because I don't plan on quitting this anytime soon. So let's see where we go with this. So,
I feel like that was a
for
challenge. for me to drive you out in some fashion. I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. I'll figure out a way to knife you in the back.
You haven't gotten me sick
Um,
of me yet over
No.
a decade, so it's good. I
since
gotta
that
work
first,
harder.
since
Never,
that first time I pulled the chair out from behind you.
Jesus, no, don't be bringing up that shit.
Anyways, from that to from Spice Boys and everything, it is tremendously humbling though for us to have listens. Over the last week, we broke 10,000 listens for the year,
Wow.
which is our
Congratulations.
really
Nice.
our best year on
Very
record
cool.
so far. So, for those that it's first time Crashmas, thank you for giving us a chance. If you like what you're, drop us a follow. You can go to crashinggamenet.com, find all the platforms we're carried on, as well as we have a contributors and guest page where you can go to profiles for Arielle and for Tony and for Vic and find their socials and a little backstory, as well as links to the episodes they have been on in the past, including the infamous Hot Takes episode, which was great.
That was fun. I
but-
got to unleash my Greg
was-
Miller.
I was gonna say, you
was
gotta
great.
come on
Greg
again
Miller.
and just be
Yep.
like, yo, hot takes, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's go.
not
Hot
even
takes
talk
part.
media,
We'll do it.
let's
Hot
just
takes part
hot
two.
takes.
Part of
Hot
me
ta-
is
hot
just
takes
like,
with
you know
Ariels.
what? Fuck it.
Yeah, right? Just
Hot
like-
takes, deep dive with Ariel.
But I
There we
think
go.
Oh, I have so many
After-
hot takes. You
Oh, yeah.
guys, I have so many that I do not share because I was part of a company. I'm not part of a company anymore, so I can say whatever I want to say.
Yes. Hey, there we go.
We'll talk.
Please.
We'll do a part two
Please.
episode.
I'm thirsty.
Um,
Thursday, I want some
but
tea.
I want to say this to all of our listeners. After the last week, especially here in the States, all I can say is please just be excellent to each other.
That's right, everybody. 300 Sparta. That's right, baby. Just want to say to everybody, Tony, Vic, Ariel, you are always welcome, and we always love your insight and your
Aw.
opinion. It's such a treat when we get to have you on. Let's keep the tradition alive. We want to have you on continuously again, and once again, we want to send out that same message. Like Matt said, it's been a crazy week. A lot of opinions have been thrown out there. Let's just try and keep an open mind. Let's try and listen. Let's be patient. And overall, let's just try to strive to do and be better. And whenever you see someone in need, once again, just try and lend a hand and help out. And once again, let's just take it to J-Rock, J-Bone, my man. It's to
again,
you.
thank you again. As of tonight, I'll be couch shopping a little bit later. So,
Couch
don't worry,
research.
guys.
That's right.
Couch reset for 301. So for all
Bread
your
counts, how
listeners
many
and watchers
pillows?
out there, we'll get you there. Anyways, though, Ariel, since you're here, thank you so much for being on. Anytime you want to come on and just be like, yo, you know what? I heard about this and just want to drop it for like 10 minutes.
Quick take.
Just
Yep.
boom, come on through and it'd be like, yo, my God.
Hot
this
take with
is what
Ariel
happened.
segment. We
All
got
right.
it. We can make it happen.
We'll
I would
shut down
love to
for,
do
five,
that.
for
Yeah.
10 minutes. But thank you for being on. And, as always, you are always welcome back on this couch whenever it needs to be. To the guys, man, 300, man.
Yeah,
I just want
300.
to, that's quite a feat.
Mhm.
So I just want to take a second for the homies, all right?
Yeah.
For the listeners that's been watching from one, thank you.
Yep.
I know we've gone up and downs, we've tried different things, like my good old D20 at the end of the night, it was a little shaky. But that was a thing of the way past. So it's okay. But we'll find
Yep.
something else. Like we'll do something.
Figure
We'll
it
try
out.
something out. But as always, it is just great having you guys listen to us. Thank you guys for listening to us. We're just four guys that just love gaming, that just love the community that we're in, because the gaming community always comes together. We have those crazy ones, we have those cool ones. So,
And then we have
for
Jerry.
and then we have Jerry. But it's okay. Jay's my boy. Jay's my
That's
boy.
right.
Like,
I'm the
Jay's my
oddity.
boy.
I'm okay. I am happy to
My
be
boy.
the
He's
odd
my
one.
boy.
I'm the odd one, and
But you're
I'm
my boy, Jerry. But you know what?
I feel like
My
you
man!
are not the odd one in this group.
God damn it, my man Theowaski almost screwed it up.
That's right.
You're
Send
too
us
far away
out.
from the mic, sir.
Send us out for 300, sir.
Ariel, Tony, Vic, we love you. We love having you on. It's just always so much fun anytime you guys are on, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
To all our listeners, to all our watchers, thanks for watching. Till next time, TTFN. That's out for now.
Good night, everybody.
300.